And we're back.
We're back.
We're back. We're waiting for Richard. I'm not sure if Richard is already available, but he's going to talk about Umbraco package development. So that's really cool. I'm not sure. Have you ever made a package? Hello, Richard. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, yeah, good time zone to you.
Yes. Good time zone to you too.
So what is the time zone exactly?
I am British summertime, so we're just approaching 9 o'clock over here.
Okay. So 1
Early
hour
bird.
ahead here. Yeah. Right, so you're going to talk about package development for us.
Yeah,
So-
that's right. I've got a chat about how the package team have been making some tools to help everybody in the package community getting started and make development a little bit easier for everyone.
That's really
Sounds
cool.
good.
Sounds really good. Yeah, because obviously Umbraco packages are really cool, a cool addition to the Umbraco CMS as a whole. Do you think you're ready for this? Can we just start?
I think so.
I think we can just give you the floor.
Yeah, sure.
You get 3 minutes for free for us.
You're so generous.
Yes, I know. Yes, we're seeing your
Perfect.
slides on the screen right now.
Perfect. So yes, as you just heard, my name is Richard Ockerby. I am part of the packages team, and I'm going to give you guys a chat about reducing the barriers to Umbraco package development today. So the packages team was created about a year ago in October last year, and as we were the first round of the packages team, we were given the task of coming up with a mission statement of what we were going to do. So here it is. We help you expand the functionalities of Umbraco by making package development, distribution, and usage simpler and fulfilling. So what we did with that is the first thing that we had to do was go out and find out what you guys liked and what you didn't like about package development. So what we found out was that there was a big gap in the knowledge of getting started, how you guys were going to come across and actually get involved in package development. So we came up with 2 tools. So the first one is templates. So what problem were we trying to solve with the templates? Well, the template issue was, how do I get started, like I was saying? What's a good way to structure my project? So these, oh, sorry guys. Perfect. Get lost. There we go. So, yes, how do we get started? What's a good way to structure my project? So let's get started with taking a look at these templates in action. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to download and install the templates. So let's go and get them from .NET New. Perfect. It's a little bit messy and you can't really see what's going on the screen. So I shall adjust that a little bit and run that through. So here we can see the 4 templates that we've got available through .NET. The first one is, well, the first 2 are template items. So these are designed to sit on top of either existing packages or existing projects that you want to start on. The first one is to do with the dashboard. So that just gives you a really nice, simple app plugins folder with a few bits in to get a dashboard started. GitHub build sits in with some actions, which allows you to go off to GitHub, tie in with CI/CD pipelines, all that sort of stuff, which I'll talk on a little bit later on. We have Umbraco V8 package, which I'm going to show you guys now. That is an Umbraco instance all set up with package development inside it, and Umbraco V8 site, which is just an empty Umbraco site, just to get started. So let's take a look at the Umbraco V8 package. So first thing I was going to show you guys was just the switches that we can have with this. So we can pass in, so if we just did the Umbraco V8 package, we would get an Umbraco site with the tools in that we're going to do for package development, but we can also pass in some switches at the end of it to give us, for example, a dashboard or a property editor that we want to get spawned up with that. So what we'll do is we'll just pop into here and cd template, and we'll go ahead and create ourselves a template. So what we've got here is the VA package. We are giving it a name of Doug, because that's what we want to call the package. And we've got the D in there, which gives us the dashboard. Brilliant. That's gone through okay. So let's take a little look and see what it's created. So going down from the top, we have GitHub folder. Inside here, we have some workflows which enable the CI/CD stuff, which I will talk about a little bit later on. We have website, which is an empty Umbraco site. And the source, which is where all the package magic happens. So inside here, this is where you'll be doing your development. So we have the app plugins folder inside here. As we can see, as we're going through all the names, these are all drawn from the name that you gave in the command line. We have the dashboard in there. I'll not go through these files. Everything's up on GitHub for people to take a look through. This is just a small example of a dashboard. Okay. So back in the root, what we have in here is we have a gulp file. This is just running some tasks in the background, which copies across your package development from source and puts it into the Umbraco website, so you don't have to drag things across when you're doing development. Nice and slick. And one other thing that it produces as part of the template is your package.xml. Just zoom in so you can see this a little better. And for anybody who's done package development before, this should look pretty familiar. And we have the information at the top here, which just goes into the details of the package, the version, etc., and the files section. So this has been updated to fit into UmbPack, which I'll talk about after this. And what we've done is we've added a folder element into this. So normally what you'd have to do is if you were packaging up your package, then you would have to have a separate entry for every single file that you wanted in there. So there would be one for the controller JavaScript, there'd be one for the CSS, there'd be another one for the HTML. What we do with this directive is it goes through the source, pulls them all out, and then spits out a nice package XML for you guys. Cool. So what we'll do next is we shall see this in action. That's in here. So what I've done here is I have created a demo site from the template. The only thing that I've changed in between this and the template is just to upload Umbraco, get it started so that we don't have to sit through the installation screen. There we are. So there it is, the new dashboard that we created from the template. There was no code involved in this. This was literally running a command and then starting up Umbraco, and there we have it. So that, in a nutshell, is the templates. So the next tool that I'm going to talk to you guys today about is the UmbPack tool. So we have made the package. We're getting ready to launch it. We need to get it out there in the hands of the community. So how do we do that? So we go through the NuGet channels and we go through our packages. So a lot of feedback that we were getting from the community was, how do we do it? How do we get started? How do we get this package that we've just spent a lot of time developing? How do we get it out there into the hands of the community? And that's where UmbPack comes in. So how do I load a package to our? Can I automate it? And the people that were familiar with the process said, is there an easier way, please? So that's how we came up with UmbPack. So what I'll do is I'll just give you guys a little demo of how this works. So what we'll do, just pop into there, open that up. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is we're going to want to install it. So again, we can get this from the .NET install command. I already have this installed on my machine, so I'll just get a little message saying that it's already installed. But obviously, if it's not there, you guys will get a nice, it's been downloaded. So let's take a look. And the first command that we're going to run is UmbPack init. So this is just a really simple, let's get started on the package. And what this will do is ask us a few questions about the package that we're creating. So these are all default values in here. Give it a package name, description, version, a URL that we can find the bits and bobs, various versions, authors. All this stuff is just very bog standard package information that you would put in. So that looks good to me. So what it's done is it's generated a package XML file. And if we take a little look inside here, very, very simple. We just have the information at the top that we just imported through the command line. And then we have empty files, actions, and controls. So we're now at a point where we can start building this up, adding the files, adding the actions, all that sort of stuff. So let's say, for example, you've done your package, you have got away with everything. You need to create yourself a new version. What we can do is we can pass in. So what you've got your package XML, and we want to package up the package. How do we do that? So UmbPack has a new command called pack. Get that in. Perfect. So if we take a look in here, what this has done is it's taken the package XML that we defined in there, and it's packaged it up. So let's take a little look and see what's in here. So the only thing that we've got is package.xml. And this is identical to the one that the tool generated, basically because we didn't have anything else in it. Perfect. So then you're in a position where you can get that up to hour. So let's say, for example, you've done a bit more work and you're ready for version 2. So here we are, pointing to the same package XML. You don't need to edit the package XML. The tool takes care of that for you. You just pass in a -v switch and give it your new version. Perfect. So we get the command line feedback, and it says we have saved the package to UmbPack version 2. So we take a look in the folder. Here it is. Let's have a little look inside the zip. And again, exactly the same contents. Taking a look inside here. Now, the only difference between this and the version 1 is the fact that we've updated the version. So you don't, like I say, you don't need to go into the package XML and update this every time you guys want to make a push. Brilliant. So what we're going to do next is we are going to take what we've created as part of the package and we're going to push it up to hour. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we are going to want to package this up. So again, we'll just point at the package XML. We'll say we're on version 1. Here we go. We get a bit more information this time because there is a bit more information inside the package XML to deal with. So taking a look inside there, we can see that we've pulled in all the files. And just as a bit of a refresher, the package XML that we had before. this had a folder path in which pointed to the source Doug app plugins Doug, and was going to split everything out into app plugins Doug. So let's take a little look and see how that has transformed inside the packaged version. So here we see this has gone through and expanded this, and it's got all of the files that we had inside there, and it's pulled them out into the package XML. Brilliant. So this zip file is now ready to go up to our. So UmbPack has that built in as well. We've got a verb called push. So the first thing that we have to do when we're doing this is we have to go through and create the package in our. So here's one that I have created earlier. So what we're going to want to do is go to the list, and we have an option here for API keys. So I've already made one for the next section. New API key here. It's important to note this down because once it's made, that's it. You can't get it back. Okay, so we've got our API key. What we'll do is we'll just say that we've done a little bit more work on this, and we're now up to version 1.1. Brilliant. So we packed that up. Doug 1.1. I'm not sure what's inside that, as it'll be the same as it was before. So next we're going to want to use the push command. We're going to point it at the Doug 1.1 zip, which we just created, and we're going to pass it in the K-switch, which has the API key that we just got from our. Perfect. Let's have a little look in here. So what we should find if we go into the dash demo, package files, perfect. So this is now automatically uploaded Doug 1.1 to the packages section. Okay. So that's all fantastic. We've got the command line stuff. We can run through this, get that pushed up. But that's not so great if you're doing a lot of package development and you want to tie this into the CI/CD pipelines. So we have this as part of the templates, and this comes in within the workflows. So this this Git repo is something which I'd set up for the workflows, and we'll just take a little look, and we have the build YAML in there. So what this does is this pulls in from the release branches. So when you create a release, so we've already got version 1 in there. Let's just take a look at ourselves. New version. Go. Okay, perfect. So that's started. If we just take a little look in the actions, we can see that it started itself a new action based on the workflow that we had in there. And as usual, we're just waiting for Git to do that. So while that is working its magic, what I shall do is talk to you guys about the actual build file. So taking a look inside here, we just have some environmental stuff set up there, and the steps that we have down here is very standard stuff. If people have been working through GitHub before, they'll recognize these. The only ones that we've got in here that might be a little bit different are the setting up UmbPack. So we go ahead and fetch the UmbPack tool into the environment, and then a little bit further down, we have the UmbPack pack, which packages up, like I was showing before with the command line, packages up your package. So many packages in this. And the next thing that it does is pushes it up to our, which is in the bottom command line. So we can see there that we have the key getting passed in, and we have that set up as a secret within Umbraco. sorry, not within Umbraco, within the GitHub. And we're just pointing this at the version that we're spitting out from the release branch. So let's take a little look and see how far we've got on with this. Okay, not far off. But here's one I made earlier. So just to take a look at what we're getting out of here. So we're doing all the build, everything's going through there, and we can take a look inside the task of creating the Umbraco package file. So we're just running the UmbPack package XML, and that's giving us the output in there. And then underneath that, we get a little bit of verbose back about what the tool is actually doing. Good for debugging if something's gone wrong. And then the next command is the push command, takes in the API key that we had, and then pushes up the output zip file from the previous step and gets it onto our. So we can see this one's finished here. We've got a tick, so that's all fantastic. And with any luck, if we refresh in here, perfect. We have Doug version 2.0 pushed up through the GitHub Actions. Okay, so what are we planning on doing as a package team next? So there's still plenty of stuff that we're getting on with. We have improvements to our, specifically around the package section, how you guys work with packages, how people would consume packages, which spreads itself into the platform as well. We've got improvements to UmbPack that we want to do. There's a few niggles in what we've got already. We want to add some new features. And next thing is more templates. So we want to get some more templates in front of you guys. We want to get some comprehensive ones about content apps. We want to do more property editors, potentially more involved dashboard stuff, that kind of thing. And as Hacktoberfest has already been mentioned, we are doing some package workshops this month. So we'd love for you guys to come along, get involved, and find out what that's all about. And all of this is going to lead to a better package experience. So we need you guys to get involved. So you can come and find us at the GitHub link in there, Umbraco packages. We have a roadmap in there of what we're getting on with. There's a load of issues, there's a load of projects, just to get in there and get involved, help us out. You can reach out to us directly on Twitter at Umbraco packages, or we are all available on the Slack channel. So as I was saying before, the workshops, they are going to be held by the Candid Contributions, and they're going to be on October 16th and October 17th. And there's a link there to get yourselves involved. So if you're the sort of people that like to know the people, then this is us. This is the package team. We have Dave on the left, followed by Kevin, Lottie, Nick, and myself. And our Umbraco steward, Jesper, down at the bottom. I'll not waffle on about us, but if you want to find a little bit more about the team, you can go onto the blog. We've got a little bit of a bio about each one of us. And some useful links. You can go onto here, you can find the source code for the templates, you can make your modifications as usual. We've got some documentation around the UmbPack on our site for you guys to get to grips with that. There's loads of switches which I haven't gone through in this demo, which are really useful for archiving, that sort of stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for listening.
All right, thank you, Richard. Thank you for a very elaborate talk about this package development. A lot of questions have been coming in, so I'm just going to fire them at you, and you can answer them at your own leisure.
And
yeah.
may I ask one thing first, because there were a lot of useful links, both for Hacktoberfest, but also for like all the general information. So if you could go into the chat later on and paste all of those in there, because I've been trying to type along, but it's impossible. So
yeah.
If you could do that for us, that would be amazing.
Yes, I'll share those links.
Thank you.
All right. So at first, a lot of people praising you for your heroism doing a live demo. So unfortunately, everything went okay and fine there, but people were congratulating you for trying, for at least daring to do that.
I had a backup video just in case things went wrong.
So always prepared, obviously. One interesting thing is people were asking about how you can actually get the .NET template tool. So you were showing them, okay, you already have it installed, but is there some guide anywhere where you can, where it's actually explained how you can get that scaffolding tool for .NET?
Yeah, sure. So the first command that I ran, which was the .NET install, that is the command that gets it from .NET. So all of the commands, everything is explained within the GitHub README.
Okay.
So that tells you how to get things started on that. So in the link, I'll paste that in. And that'll
All
explain
right.
everything.
Okay, that's cool. So people can actually get started with that, because a lot of people are actually very interested in trying out this tool. It seems very useful. One of the questions that came in was if packages in general are also going to be part of the .NET Core version of Umbraco, or at least written in .NET Core, because obviously that's something that we have to account for in the future. What about how packages are going to work with that new ecosystem coming around?
So we see it. I mean, they're currently in talks at the minute about how all this sort of stuff's going to hang together. So a lot more information will be coming later on. But we're trying to keep things simple, trying to make sure that people who have been developing for version 8 don't have to make massive changes in order to get them across the core.
All right, that's cool. Another interesting question was about the NuGet. We were talking about generating these packages for people and using GitHub to do it. One of the questions that came in is, can this UmbPack tool also assist in generating the NuGet packages? Or do we still need to use the NuGet package tool for that?
You still need to use the NuGet package tool. It's one of the things that we're taking a look at for how we might improve this, just to combine, because we know that people push things up to NuGet and people also push things up to Hour. So it is on the roadmap of things to take a look at and see how we would do that.
Right. So I'm probably going to make a little bit of a stir here, but there has been a little bit of talk about actually using NuGet as a feed behind Umbraco to deliver the packages to people. And also to basically force all package developers to use NuGet, so actually people can install them. What's going on there? Is that still a thing? Are we still going to do that?
It's still in discussions. I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to say anything live. So we are still in discussions about how we're going to handle that.
All right. Yeah.
You were hoping for a little commotion.
Yes,
there,
I was hoping for a statement there.
Sorry,
obviously.
Sorry to disappoint.
Yes. All right. Do you have anything? Yeah.
I mean, we have some more questions.
Yeah, obviously.
So how can non-developers take advantage of package development or management?
Sure. So the package tool was aimed at people who haven't really got involved in Umbraco packages before and people who've been doing it for a long time. So you need to know a little bit about development in order to get started with the package development in there. If you were going to go down the route of having things like just creating document types and doing stuff within the back office, then we haven't changed any of that element of things. So you can still package things up through there with the document types to generate the package XML. And then after you've generated the package XML through the back office, you can then use the UmbPack tool to do the magic that I was just showing through there with the automatic deployments.
That's Great. Really cool. So, shall I?
Go for it.
Go for it. All right. So there were actually a few questions about the GitHub action that you were showing. Is that something people can actually get as well? Is there some documentation anywhere how they can set that up? Because obviously a lot of people are using GitHub as a continuous development tool in this case. And the same question came in for the Azure DevOps pipeline. So are there packages available for this new tool to use it in either GitHub or DevOps?
Yeah, so the GitHub's question first, the GitHub actions are as part of the templates. So when I was going through it at the start, there was the 4 templates. One of them was the GitHub that gives you the build YAML, which I demonstrated in the demo, and that has everything out of the box. What's quite clever about it is when you create the package and you give it the name, what that does is it corrects all the paths. So you don't have to mess about with setting the right name for your project. It does everything automatically for you out of the box. And again, because it's an item template, you don't have to start a template from scratch. You can add that into any existing project, or all the source code's up on Git. So if you just wanted the YAML file to go ahead and do that, then you can take that.
All right.
The Azure pipelines, we haven't created anything from a template yet, but there's still scope for it. I don't know if there's an issue in there to do that, but if there isn't, either I'll do it or somebody can do it from the chat.
All right. With this, people can actually make a pull request in order to actually get this working, and maybe they can score some swag during it this month. So if you want extra pipelines working, please help Umbraco out in this case, and you'll get some swag yourself.
Go and take care of it yourself.
Yeah. So just on the side, a lot of people are saying "NuGet for the world, for the win" in the chat. So please speed up that talk internally.
No problem.
I have a totally unrelated question, if I'm allowed to. I see a gorgeous instrument behind you.
Yes.
Do you play?
I do, yes. Just a little. I'm not gonna play live. But
I was like, but maybe you can come back later today and play something for us.
Maybe not.
Maybe. All right. Okay. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yes.
I'll take that as a.
In that case, I think we're all through the questions. Do you have something else to report that you say, okay, I really forgot to tell something. I still want some
parting remarks.
Yeah, exactly.
Last notes.
There's nothing I've missed out with my talk, but certainly people should get involved. This is something that is really important to the Umbraco community. That packages are part of the bloodline that we use. We use them at work. I use them in my spare time on projects. So people need to get involved, push us forward, and make Umbraco a better package place.
Yes, I think that are some very great parting words. Thank you, Richard, for your time and for your Q&A afterwards.